And now I'm going to do my presentation about the Apollo landings that were performed by NASA. The index. First I'm going to talk about all the Apollo missions, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. And then we're going to talk about if the moon landings were faked or fact. Then we'll go talk about if we'll ever go again, and then there's a small quiz. Apollo 11 was on July 20th, 1969, and it was by the commander Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins as the command module pilot, and Buzz Aldrin as the lunar module pilot. It was the first Apollo mission that put the first man on the moon. Apollo 12 was on November 20th, 1969. It was the same year, and it was to do lunar experiments on the moon and collect fuel samples. It was performed by Charles Conrad as the commander, Rich Gordon as the command module pilot, and Alan Bean as the lunar module pilot. Apollo 14 was performed on February 5th, 1971, lunar service science. They were going to do science like all the science that we do on Earth, but they're going to try them out on the lunar surface. This was performed by Stuart Rosa as the command module pilot, Alan Shepard as the commander, and Edgar Mitchell as the lunar module pilot. Fact is, Apollo 13 did not succeed to put a man on the moon because there was a small explosion in the oxygen tank, so they had to return to Earth. Apollo 15 was on the exploration with lunar rover. The lunar rover is a car that they drove on the moon. And this mission was performed by David Scott as the commander, Alfred Gordon as the command module pilot, and James Irwin as the lunar module pilot. Apollo 16 was April 21, 1972. This mission was mainly about the high developed filming that they did they took photos and filmed a lot of things on the lunar surface, and this was executed by Thomas Mattingly as the command module pilot, John Young as the commander, and Charles Duke as the lunar module pilot. Apollo 17 was on December 11th, and this was the last manned mission to go to the moon. This was performed by Harrison Smith as the command lunar module pilot, Eugene Cernan as the commander, and Ronald Evans as the command module pilot. This is a mission. This is from the Apollo 11 mission. Here you can see Buzz Aldrin, and there's a flag that they put of USA. This is the Eagle. That's the Eagle that they landed with. That's a satellite, so they could communicate with Earth. This is Buzz Aldrin with the flag of the moon, and as you can see, the Earth, like we see the moon from this distance. Facts or fakes? The waving flag was one of the conspiracy theories that some people say that it was all the lunar missions were faked and they never happened. The waving flag was that on the moon you have no wind or gravity, so it was technically impossible that the flag was waving, as you can see in the videos that you see on YouTube, where they are walking and putting the flag on the surface. The flag appeared to be waving, and that was impossible. So many people thought it was faked. No stars is a very popular theory that if you go see the videos and photos of the moon that they took, you can absolutely not see any stars in the background. So a lot of people wondered that how that could happen, and NASA did have an explanation for that, that the sun had a lot of impact on the surface, that it blacked out all the stars. But many people don't believe that too. Cheating in the space race against Russia, this is the reason why they could have done it, because in that period of time, in the 60s and 70s, America and Russia were in a big space race in who could achieve more things in space. So America wanted to get one step ahead of Russia and put one man on the moon. And they said that maybe it was impossible to do, so they faked it to still become more advanced in the space race. Will we ever go again? This is a very popular question that everybody asks. NASA doesn't want to go, doesn't have any plans for the future, because the main goal for NASA is at the Mars. We want to reach Mars to do science and experiments there. And we already went to the moon, and they don't really want to go again. But they are sending rovers and satellites to the moon. Quiz time. Who was the second man to walk on the moon?
Oh, no, I forgot. Buzz Aldrin.
Yes. What was the reason for Apollo 13's demise? Yes.
There was a little explosion in the oxygen chamber tank.
Did we really go on the moon is a question that I want your opinion about that. Yeah.
I don't really know. There are a lot of strong opinions and a lot of strong facts. What you just said about no stars or the waving flag, but maybe it was just coincidence, but I don't think so.
Okay. This was my presentation about the lunar landings. Any questions?